Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? If you look around our map, you might notice a few changes. The trees are back, that meteor behind our base is gone, we're missing a few blocks, and the reactor moved by 2 or 3 chunks. What kind of magic is this? Before I try to explain to you what has happened, we need to get rid of that hive, which also kind of respawned. Didn't go well. That went well. That went horrifying. Perimeter has been secured, there are no more bugs. Oh, even our mineshaft is gone. Anyways, here's what happened. If you guys remember on episode 1, I did mention that I have changed the ore generation of this mod pack because I found the default version a bit confusing. By default, ore generation is biome dependent and well, if you look at the journey map, we don't have that many biomes nearby. And last episode, we even had to travel 4000 blocks in order to find a jungle. So I think what I did was correct. Besides, this mod pack is still in development, so maybe they will fix it. So I have fixed every single ore, even salt from Pam's Harvest Craft, but I missed one teeny tiny detail. Schist. It's not an ore, it's a stone, and the ore dictionary for it is nice. What it does is that it gives you lithium, and lithium gives you Desh. And we didn't have it in our world. Just by mistake, I replaced everything with just normal stone. So what I have done is that I have fixed it one more time, and what I did is that I used MC-Edit to prune our world. Our base isn't that big and it's almost within chunk boundaries, so these are the existing chunks, the rest have all been changed. And yeah, there is an abundant amount of salt ore from Pam's Harvest Craft everywhere, cause they have disabled the ore and they have disabled the recipe. Why? Cause it's a cheaty way of making a few things in this mod instead of using niter. But we are just going to use it for cooking, so it's not a big deal. And after a few days of in-game searching, this is schist. And to be honest with you, it's like full of ores. A crazy number of ores. It's mainly uranium, which we don't really need. And there was also a gas pocket. I just placed down one torch and everything caught fire. And yeah, what you see in front of you is our brand new mining tunnel. This time I actually made it fancy with stairs. And finally, it does lead to our basement. Ignore these guys. I don't know what happened. Also, what is that? I saw something following me. Where's my sword? Okay, just one hit. Wasn't something horrifying, I guess. Oh, yes. We have other changes as well. What the? I had to prune the world one more time. I guess we got some of these people. They look different. Maybe there's pollution? Let me try to get rid of this hive. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to remove the spawners from the hive and well, I think we're good to go. And yes, I did have to prune the world one more time because when I brought back schist, I forgot vanilla ores. So yeah, now we have an antenna and the reactor is gone. Anyways, let us get back to the main task at hand. Today we're going to work towards oil. And for that we are going to need a ton of material, so let's get started. The first thing that we're going to need is the high-speed steel, which we make it inside the crucible. And I also noticed whenever you lock in the recipe, you can't put any other items inside. It's actually quite good, that means you cannot mess up the recipe like tinkers. While the steel is getting prepared, let us make an oil reservoir detector. That's our prospector for finding oil. And I think the way that it works is that you just right click on the ground, sneak right click, F1 for help. Oh, it's on the top left hand corner. Okay, honestly I have no idea where I'm going, I'm just walking around. And maybe we should also empty our steel. I'm very happy that this guy does not have a durability, because otherwise we would have been screwed. Oh, we found this. Okay, I actually knew this was there because that's actually my mining tunnel. And since oil deposits are directly below, that means any block will do. So this place is fine. That is where we're going to dig for oil. So wait a minute, there is another oil reservoir here, right? I think. Yes, maybe we should dig there. It's closer. Now that we know how to get oil, we need to extract it, and for that we need an oil derrick. I think that's the first machine that we can make for getting oil. So we select it inside the assembling machine, garbage goes in, and we wait. It's very fancy. None of these things are going to be quests because there is a mess up somewhere in chapter 1. I can't make this. It requires a heavy framework, and that requires Desh, which is something that we're going to get today. So oil is directly below, so you can go there. Cool. That looks big. Actually, they come with pre-built holes. We might as well put it here. It's been a while later. I gathered I think everything that we are going to need in order to process oil. This is going to be a very temporary setup because derrick is like the most primitive way of getting oil, and eventually we're going to have a better system. I think it's bedrock oil or something. So this is going to be temporary anyways, that's what I wanted to say. Let's try to assemble everything. What we need to do is that first we need universal fluid duct. And you might notice that under the universal fluid duct, it's written none. That none is very important, because the fluids in the HBM mod are not similar to forged fluids. I mean, for example, if we had thermal expansion, I don't think you could have extracted the oil. The way that it works is that you're going to need something called a multi-fluid identifier. You sneak and right click, you find the fluid that you want, for example, crude oil, and you have to mark the pipes, which for some reason this one is being a jerk. Thank you. You see? Now they're getting connected again. So when you mark the fluid duct, the good part is that only crude oil is going to flow through this pipe. There's not going to be a mess up like Ender IO. The bad part is that you have to do this for every single fluid, and it's not fun. I'm not really a fan of oil processing, but apparently whenever you get crude oil, you have to heat it up. Hence, I have 2 boilers. The reason that I have 2 boilers is that the primitive boiler can explode if the fluid gets full. So I'm having 2 of them just in case something goes wrong. So these boilers, which I put them on top of a firebox, are going to get the crude oil and they're going to give us hot crude. Also, the reason that I'm using the primitive boiler which can explode and not the industrial boiler which will not, is that in order to make the industrial boiler you actually need to have oil. There is a polymer which requires, petroleum gas. Anyways, you might notice that the primary function of these boilers is to convert water into steam. So we need our multi-fluid identifier, we set it to actually crude oil, and we right click on them. So now it takes crude oil, it gives us hot crude. This is the part where I'm not exactly sure of, but apparently we have to take the hot crude from the top. Makes sense. But again, we set our filter to hot crude, and we mark the cables. Pipes, sorry. Finally, the hot crude has to go inside a refinery, so there you go. Another thing that I might have forgotten is that, the oil derrick does not just give you crude oil. It also gives you natural gas. So I guess here's another pipe. We select natural gas. Yes. And this time we have to send it into tanks. There are amazing tanks that you can craft. Let me show you. This one. And also this one. But unfortunately, they require weird stuff. So for the moment, we're just going to use steel barrels. And funny enough, they also have to be marked. And trust me, even though it doesn't show you that it's connected, it is connected. It just needs to update. Also, I think the tanks connect to each other as well, so you just need to have one pipe connection. Another very important thing is that we need power. I don't really think it's going to consume that much power, and I'm lazy to put cables down. So let's take one capacitor, we put that one in, and then I have a battery socket here. We use this one. I think it's going to be less cables. I could be wrong. So, do you have oil? Do you have power? Oh, no, you don't. It's actually good. Let's connect everything first. Now everything is connected, we go to the battery socket and configure it. Output. Where's the oil? Did you move? I think you moved. Did we hit oil? Do I have to wait? Well, it's digging. I'm still waiting. For a mod that has so many animations, there should be an animation for finding oil. Well, I was correct, we're not consuming that much power. Did something fall? I hear stuff. Oh yeah, we're getting oil. Yes. Let's heat it up. Now we're getting hot crude. That goes inside the refinery. And we're getting all the things that we wanted. Especially light oil. That heavy oil is a jerk. Because it's gonna fill in really fast. Okay, it went in. Ladies and gentlemen, we got oil. So we have done oil just because we want to be able to get some Desh, right? We need 200 millibuckets of light oil in order to make 1 Desh ingot, so it's not a bad ratio. We also need mercury, but that's easy. I like the noise that it makes. Also, what do you do with heavy oil? Just out of curiosity. Oh, I want that. Yeah, I told you, heavy oil is going to be the jerk. The tank was full. Also, these things don't really connect. Yeah, you have to configure it. I guess let's cut off the power. Because I just want some Desh for the moment. And maybe some polymer. Yeah, I can't have that much polymer. It needs 1 bucket. Oh, for 4. Okay, it's not bad. So I have cut off the power, I'll wait for the machines to shut down and I'll bring you back. My fellow lords and ladies of darkness, I have cut off the power to the derrick and therefore the machines have stopped working. It's good because there's not going to be an overflow, boilers are not going to blow up, etc. But we do have 15 buckets of light oil, which is great. That's a ton of Desh. So just in case you're wondering, Desh is incredibly important for us. First off, it's going to allow us to finish chapter 1. You know, I can finally make this strandcaster. We need 1 Desh. The other thing is that we can use Desh in order to make the brand new anvil, which is going to be tier 3. And remember, in this mod, our gate to brand new technologies is the anvil. For example, if you remember, if we want to make the industrial smokestack, we need a Desh anvil. Another very important use of Desh is that we can make tools out of it. So it has fortune tools, silk touch, AoE, etc. But you might notice it doesn't have durability. You see, cobalt has durability, steel has durability, Desh does not. Even the shredder blades don't have a durability. So in general it's a good thing, because if we put it inside the machine they're not going to break. That's my assumption. Also we can get a few upgrades to our suit, as well as getting better suits. So long story short, let's try to get Desh. If you guys remember, there is something called rare earth, which we can put it inside an anvil in order to get different fragments. Don't you worry, we have a lot. We don't actually have a lot. Desh is a combination of different elements, so let's try to get them. Most of them come from rare earth. You know, these colorful prismarine shards that we got. In addition to those shards, we also need cobalt as well as schist. So we put them in. Also, Desh sword looks amazing. Damage is the same, but it does stunning. It means that it does stun the enemies. I did not count if we have everything, but let's see if we can make some Desh blend. We have everything. That's good. It's 9 items, but some of them are repetitive, like this one. Yeah, I guess that's all the Desh we can have. That's fine. 5. It's enough for a pickaxe and a sword. Let's put the tiny dusts over here so that I don't get confused later on. Anyways, we have the Desh blend, we need a chemical reactor, we need light oil, which we got, and we need mercury. How do we get mercury? Well, we take cinnabar, we put it inside the combination oven. That's it. Oh, that is full. You know, sometimes I cheat, I just break it. I don't know if it's a good thing or not. Stop processing coal. You know, until we get like good tanks, this is a constant problem. But yeah, that's mercury. As usual, we put it inside the tank and we're good to go. I have to do the same thing with light fuel. Not light fuel, light oil. Yes, there you go. We can pick it up, right? Yeah, so we have our chemical reactor. I need more pipes. That's our entire supply of mercury, which should be fine. We have to select Desh, the correct recipe, and we just empty the barrels. Nothing happened. Oh, yes, powered. It's gonna be amazing dire wire, but it should work. Yes, we're getting Desh. That's our first Desh. Lever. What? Now that we have the Desh, let's see if my assumption was correct. Let's get a few sticks. Give me. Thank you. That's a Desh sword. That's a Desh pickaxe. Please don't have a durability. Please. You don't. Lovely. It's unbreakable. Screw the cobalt. Also every other single cobalt thing that I ever made. I go mining. It's that way. My fellow lords and ladies of darkness, I'm back from mining and we have 3 more Desh ingots. So the thing is, whenever you're processing rare earth, one of the items that you're getting is lanthanium. And you might notice that the chances are garbage. It's like 10%. You need 2 of them in order to make Desh. So that means we are going to need a ton of rare earth in order to get enough lanthanium in order to make Desh. However, rare earth is affected by fortune. And guess what? Since Desh items are not going to break, it's actually worth enchanting them. And yes, we have some experience. Although 99.9% of it actually comes from smelting items. So the enchanting table itself is going to be fine, experience is going to be fine, luck, I can't really do anything about it. And I just realized you can't mine obsidian using Desh. So obsidian is not fine. Yeah, it's not a big deal, I'll just get a cobalt pickaxe, we're going to be fine. But what I wanted to mention is that we're going to need a ton of books. And for that I'm going to need leather, and I don't have enough leather. You do mine obsidian, right? Yeah, very slowly. And we just burned half of that. Anywho, let's try to find leather. That is our enchantment setup, and I don't really remember, in 1.7 you didn't need lapis, did you? But here we do. I don't know how. Let's get 30 levels. That's an XP shower. That's a bit too much. We don't really want to waste. Oh, you can't enchant the pick. Can you enchant the... You can't do anything. Fishing is fun, right? So through fishing, I did manage to get an Unbreaking 3 book, and I also managed to get a decent fishing rod. So our fishing rod is actually quite nice. But I did check the enchantment table one more time, and yeah, if you put the books one by one, you can enchant them. So I have enchanted a few books, and well, not all of them are great except this one. The problem is that I want looting and I want efficiency, but we have them on one book. So we just put it on a pickaxe. I wanted to do mining, that was the whole point. Also, very soon I'm going to need an office, especially for the enchanted books. We run that way. Actually, we have to charge. Desh is actually very good for mining because it doesn't break. Unfortunately, the speed is garbage. It's a bit of a trade-off, but I think with efficiency we should be fine. And yes, we were perfectly fine. I did manage to find around 100 rare earth and we got 11 lanthanium. That sounds about right. But unfortunately, that's going to be only enough for 5 Desh ingots, not more. So with those extra Desh ingots, we can finally proceed. So one of my biggest problems in making different automations is the lack of tanks. Because you see, having barrels like this doesn't really pay off. So one of the most important goals for today is going to be making as many tanks as possible, which does require a ton of bolted steel plating. We also need coal tar or whatever, therefore we are going to need a machine called Industrial Solidification Machine, and that requires polymer, as well as the heavy framework. We also need 2 of them so that we can finish chapter 1. I did not mess up anything. Oh yeah, we have a bit more rare earth. Not much. You smelt it and it gives you 16. It's not really gonna be much, it's going to give us like 2 dusts. We got the 1, 2. That's it. Anyways, let me try to craft a few gizmos, I'll be right back. Alright ladies and gentlemen, a lot of time has passed and I have been extremely busy. We have made a lot of machines and components which don't make any sense, but I'm here to make sense out of at least some of them. Some of you have been asking me that I should explain how the machines work. The problem is that I have never played with this mod, so I have no idea how they work. What I do is that, yes, I see the heavy framework, I look at the recipe, it's an assembling machine, and I make the components. It's like making the resonant integral component from thermal expansion. You need aluminum gear, I make the aluminum gear. I don't ask questions. Also, most of the machines that we have placed down so far are extremely simple. That's a blast furnace, which we have it like in 10 different mods. This one is a coke oven, which we have it in several mods. This one is basically a smeltery, and this one is supposed to be an advanced smeltery. But I don't know how it works, and we don't need to use it right now. The arc welder that we made last episode, I used it in order to make welded copper, which, you know, I used it in order to make a component. So if I don't really explain how a machine actually works, it's just because I don't know how it works. Or what it does. We are discovering things as we go along. In the montage that you have also seen, I made something very important. I made some polymer. The problem is that I only managed to make 40 of them and we have literally used all 40. It's some sort of a plastic and you do need to have 1 bucket of petroleum gas. We ran out. We can have more, don't you worry. Anyways, there are going to be a few automations that we are going to do next to the brand new building. And that automation is going to be the combination oven. As I have already mentioned, the combination oven is basically a coke oven and I use it in order to make coal coke. You see, lignite coal has a burn time of 1200 ticks. If we convert it into a coke, it's 3 times more. So we're making the fuels more efficient. However, as a byproduct of that, what we're getting is coal tar creosote, which is literally the creosote oil that we also get from immersive engineering. Until right now, I couldn't use it that much because we only had barrels and I could only keep like 16 buckets of creosote oil. Then the machine would clog up and it wouldn't work. With the rubber that I made during the montage, I made this machine, Industrial Solidification Machine. What does it do? It takes the creosote and it gives me coal tar. It won't burn, but it allows me to make tanks, which are way better than barrels. And since I really want to have a tank as soon as possible, let's try to make some. We export. I think we have to specify it inside the machine as well. Yes. And we also need to give it power. I need 1 cable. I seriously need a remote. You started working, which is perfect. We do have a few of these wood generators over here and I do have a golden capacitor. This is why all the machines can work for a limited amount of time, but that's all coal tar. We need 16 of that for 1 tank. That's expensive. We are playing on expensive mode, but yeah. So while the coal tar is being prepared for a tank, let's try to set up the combination oven. I do have 2 of these chimneys for pollution over here, so it does make sense to assemble it here. And this time we might as well try to use conveyors. They look nice. This is going to be our input, which I placed it the incorrect way. Yeah, things are going in, perfect. Ouch! It burns! But this one is going to be our output. Yes, coal coke is coming out. And we're also getting creosote oil, which for that, let me try to make a tank. We have 64. With the entire supply of coal tar that we had, we did manage to make 4 tanks. I am using one of them for creosote oil, and yeah, the pipe is underground. And I also just realized you can change the fluid inside the pipe by sneak and right clicking. It will do all the pipes. You don't have to do them one by one like an idiot like me. And I think our first use of creosote oil is going to be making more coal tar. This is our brand new door. Looks fancy. But yeah, we sneak and right click. Everything is converted. And then we can also have our industrial solidification machine for making more coal tar. We just have to ask the tank to eject it. Like so. Oh yeah. The blueprint. So now that we have the creosote oil inside the solidification machine, we also need to provide it with power, right? The problem is that our generators are way over there, our workshop is here, and we can't just spam generators like this, right? Thankfully this mod does have a solution and it looks extremely cool and very simple to use. So here is a substation, which we can connect them to our power station using cables, and then there is something called electricity pylon, which looks really cool. So the way that it works is that instead of having like 300 of these cables, you can connect your substation to your pylon, like so, and then if you have another pylon which can be up to 100 blocks away, you can just use one cable. So if we have the second one here, and we just select both pylons like so, yeah, they do connect. These are called cable drums, they're not very cheap. It's like 9 steel. And then whenever we want to convert into normal cables, we just use the substation again. So it will be somewhere over there. So voila. I misplaced it. It's too big. So now if we want to have some sort of wiring in our base, we can. Oh, that's my escape tunnel. My assumption is that it's going to work. I have never used it in my life. But let's see. Do you have power? Yes. It actually worked. And it's cool. In this series, one of the things that I want to try and do is that I want to try and limit our progression to a certain extent. So I think our technological progression for today is good enough. Except I want one more machine, because I really need that for next episode, and that is called the centrifuge. So until right now, the way that we were making Desh is that we were finding rare earth. We had to get lucky, especially with lanthanum, in order to get Desh blend, right? However, if you find the ore itself and silk touch it, which we can do with any pickaxe, the centrifuge is just going to give us one Desh blend. Guaranteed. Also, now that we have some tanks, that should be a bit easier. Yeah, that's the heavy oil. But let's do something similar with naphtha, like so. And I think we have to do something similar with natural gas, yeah. The reason that I had to kickstart oil one more time is that we needed some petroleum gas. I need some polymer. Also, what else can you do with polymer? Except the centrifuge, you just make different components. Or make lithium-ion batteries, which are not that bad. Anyways, let's make the centrifuge. Oh, what is this? Centrifuge elements. That's cheap. Well, it's cheap because I bulk crafted a lot of items. Otherwise, not that much. So that should be our centrifuge element. Thank you. And that should be the centrifuge itself. Lovely. So how tall are you? You're not that big. So I can fit you somewhere here. For the moment. And let me try to go and find some rare earth. This guy has silk touch, right? Yes. Enabled. So that is rare earth. We can silk touch. Cool. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back from mining, and I think that centrifuge was an amazing investment. It's part of ore processing, but it gives you always something extra. Look at cobalt. So one is definitely not going to be enough, but let's start with rare earth. Oh, and yeah, I did manage to find 38. It has a face. I'm sorry, I actually found it funny. So, the centrifuge has power. You go inside. It's a weird machine. What are you doing? Oh, we got one. Okay, so it's guaranteed. But it's extremely slow. And this one is zirconium, which I guess that's how you would get it. There is a cigarette made with asbestos and polonium. That takes unhealthy to a brand new level. But this is amazing. We have more Desh. That does mean I can upgrade my anvil, right? Oh, it's 10. Whoa, that was expensive. Well, we will have it anyways. Who cares? Besides, this was a trial run. Oh, I have to turn off oil, because I think this one is... No, it's not full. But we turn it off anyways. Besides, we have enough petroleum gas and we do have light oil. Things we need for polymer as well as Desh. So we're good. For the moment. So here is a steel anvil and it's the wrong one. Iron anvil was fine. Yeah, you have to upgrade the iron one. Desh anvil. Lovely. So I can finally also start making these industrial smokestacks. Alright ladies and gentlemen, I did mention that we're going to stop our technological advances for today, but that doesn't mean that we're done with the episode. The gist of it is that next episode, if possible, we're going to try and get the arc furnace. With the arc furnace, what is going to happen is that, the recipes are too long. Yeah, with the arc furnace, what is going to happen is that we would be able to get some silicon. And with silicon, we can finally get into applied energistics. So I think applied energistics is going to happen within 2 episodes. That should be fine. But the things that we're going to do this episode. Well, first off, we need to clean up the place. I also want to finish the interior of this building. And I was really hoping that machine is going to look nicer. It doesn't. These machines are fine. Magnificent and beautiful, although we might move them to somewhere near our power station. So that's one of our projects for today. The other one is exploration. Cause yes, as I have already mentioned at the start of the episode, I have pruned the world, so if we go exploring, we're going to find brand new things. I also reset the journey map, so that's what we have explored. Another thing that I have done is that I have increased the chances of structures spawning, cause there are cool structures and we never got to see any of them. Now we do. Another thing is that I don't really mind getting more concrete, I'm lazy to craft it. Also, we're at a stage of the game that it doesn't really matter if we loot something, it's just out of curiosity. Although this is a building that I don't really want to destroy, it looks cool. You know, the antenna. So do you have a door? Hello? You do have a diesel generator? I guess we take the loot. Not much of interest. Yeah, you see there's another structure over here, which inside I don't think we are going to find anything of interest. Maybe some weapons. That's it. Yeah, that's the weapon one. What do you drop? We already have it. I have like 10. This is also oil, right? Near our base. Oh, and yes, I forgot to mention, I made Desh tools. Yeah, you see, this is a cool mod. You should see structures. I'm actually happy with the changes. We already have them. Mainly I'm looking for a factory building. I saw it in the configs, I just don't know where it is or how it looks. Screwdriver. I was lazy to make it. And if you remember, that's our old base. I think you can still find the loot, yeah. It was pruned. Hello? Are we good? Go to hell. There's also a semi-broken pyramid. What is that? Yeah, you see? This is why we needed more... Whoa! What do we do with that? You can't break it, right? Oh, that's asphalt! It has a cannon. You can't break the gun. Is that a silo? With a missile? Well, I came here for concrete. Let's take the concrete first. And honestly speaking, I'm actually scared of launching the missile. We might hit our own base. Whoa! You know, that scared me. Can I break you? Thank you. Telex machine. In a nuclear silo? I take it. Looks cool. There's a guidebook. A bit late, but thank you. Also, the missile is massive. I don't know if you can take it. It made a noise. We're out. There's my helmet. Also, we can take the door. They're not going to miss it. Also the asphalt. You walk fast on it. I think it was last episode or the previous one where we discovered flare guns. Check this one out. This is cool. Whoa. That is a new building. Is that a factory? Yeah. We found one. Oh, there are mobs. Nice. We're not going to call in an airstrike, obviously. We throw a grenade. Kill the rest. I have no idea if the grenade did anything. So many mobs? Why so many? Stop shooting. This is a fun building. I don't really need supply crates because it's just food, but I like this place. There are even anvils. These are cart rails. Can you craft them? Yes. Also, you never know. Maybe there is something on the roof. Apart from the sheep. Okay, I'm back at the base. I mainly did the exploration because somebody said that they want to see the interior of the buildings. I tried to show it as best as possible, but then I remembered, now that we have unlocked Desh, can I buy the blueprint? There are these Nuka-Cola bottle caps. You get them as quest rewards, you find them in dungeons, so can I buy this? Oh, it falls on the roof. Yeah. Sorry, but there should be a book here. Yes, be the correct blueprint. What a jerk. Can I have enough caps for another one? Maybe not. I have finished a few quests. I'm missing 3. Let me try to find 3 more caps. On top of the offices, there are always coins. We'll try this one more time. If it doesn't work, I'm giving up. Whoa! It's a rocket. Wish me the best. Give me the blueprint. Yes! What was the other one? BMG round. I have no idea what that is, but I have my blueprint. I don't care. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, for me it is the next day, and I try to clean up the place as best as I can. So our machines are now over here. At this very moment I don't really have a structure for them, and I don't really know where to put them. But maybe we're going to have a basement. I'm not exactly sure, so that I can at least work during the night. With shaders it's extremely dark. I have moved our saw, it's a bit more automated. And these are steel walls, they look cool and relatively cheap. They also have a corner. In the back I have also automated our combination oven in the same way, and I tried my best to hide all the pipes. So there's an exhaust pipe leading to the sawmill, there's an exhaust pipe going up there, and inside I have also done some work. We have to wait for the door. So our solidification machine, which is making us the coal tar, is now automated, well, relatively. Creosote oil goes in, we get the coal tar in a crate, that's it. We have our telex, and here we have the rest. It's the same setup, I just covered everything, that's it. And we also have a vending machine. I purchased it. I'm not a builder, I just wanted everything to be neat and clean, not to see the pipes, except the decorative ones. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one. Bye bye.